Following the trail of Broderick, Merlin's apprentice, your journey takes you to London, the last stronghold standing in the middle of the terrible wastelands. London is under the rule of the infamous Sir Caradoc, who has become the iron-fisted protector of the refugees.
London is swarming with hedge knights, brave warriors stripped of their lords and lands by the cataclysm, as they have proven themselves very useful during... London is the last safe haven in a vast wasteland, and for quite some time it has stood bravely against continuous Fomorian attacks. Small wonder that most of its buildings are...
Following the trail of Broderick, the gigantic stronghold of London is under martial law. At the colossal gates you see guards armed to the teeth. The ramparts are crawling with sentinels, and the priests and healers are keeping an eye on newcomers, looking for signs of Fomorian infection. The guards are clearly at the end of their tethers. They are tired and haggard, and since you hardly know anything about the apprentice, they can't help you. Finally you leave them, and break through the crowd of warriors and gawping bystanders, and set out for the inner city. London is a maze of alleys and stairs, tawdry huts and huge palaces. You see signs of the recent plague, chalk marks on the doors, the remains of bonfires and solemn faces in the bustling crowd. The hospital is a huge building, built in the glorious days of the once and future king. You meet a monk at the large stairway leading up to the halls, and you ask him about Merlin's apprentice. The wizard helped heal the victims of the plague, but he left mysteriously. Lost in your thoughts, you walk the gloomy, narrow alleys, and it takes a while to realize that you are not alone. A group of shady-looking brigands block your way, and one of them tells you to hand over your purse or die. You draw your sword. They are no match for you, but they have strength in their numbers. Before you could teach them a lesson, you hear approaching footsteps. The castle guards appear and the brigands flee. The leader of the guards tells you that Sir Caradoc wants to see you. The legendary Sir Caradoc receives you in a marble hall. You've heard stories about his ferocity, cruelty, and skills in battle, and at first sight the man you see definitely fits the description. When he greets you, however, his voice is cordial and friendly. He offers you a cup of wine. Sir Caradoc knows exactly why you are here, and he's not beating around the bush at all. He tells you that he knows where Merlin's apprentice is, in the dungeons of London, as a prisoner of Sir Caradoc himself. "Fate has chosen me to defend London," says Caradoc grimly. "I'm not a weak man, and this town needed someone like me. Someone who rules with an iron fist and makes harsh decisions. I'm protecting them from the spawns of hell, so I can't permit any insubordination, not even from a wizard." Sir Caradoc seems to ignore your demands, because he launches into praising your recent victories. He has a great opinion of your leadership and your efficiency in destroying the Fomorian hordes north of London. He hints that you could easily achieve the same in the south. Sir Caradoc's anger immediately flares up, proving that the legends about his temper were true. He barks at you and sets aside the courtesies. He wants you to destroy the Fomorian lord dwelling in the southern provinces. If you succeed, you can talk to the apprentice.
My good sir, Oxford is in need of your aid. A devastating plague is transforming our townsfolk into terrible creatures. We try to fight the infection, but we are losing the battle. We simply cannot find the harbingers of the sickness. We know that you have experience in such matters. Come immediately.
The enemy hero is casting a spell. Your magic shield is under normal strength. Your spell was absorbed. Your magic shield is under normal strength. The enemy hero is casting a spell. Your magic shield is under normal strength. Your spell was absorbed. The enemy hero is casting a spell. The enemy hero is casting a The enemy hero is casting a spell. The enemy hero is casting a spell. The enemy hero is casting a spell. The enemy has cast a spell. Your soldiers are going to die. Your unit is going to die. The enemy hero is casting a spell. A spell has been cast. Your spell was absorbed. Your soldiers are going to die. Your men are going to die. Your soldiers are going to die. Victory is near. More and more people are succumbing to the Fomorian infection in Oxford. City guards slay them by the dozen, but the blight keeps on spreading. You must find the possessed creature who is behind this and get rid of him for good before he summons his master. You leave your army at the city gates and only bring half a dozen of your finest men along. The town looks as if it has been hit by the plague. Guards are patrolling from house to house looking for infected people. The funeral pyres send clouds of ash into the wind. The folk of Oxford are visibly mourning. The captain of the guards tells you that the slums are almost abandoned. Those who stayed healthy left for greener pastures, and they would rather live in the wilderness than die in their homes. Of course, we searched everything, but it was all in vain. We found lots of infected people hiding there, but we couldn't get closer to the one who is responsible for the plague. The slums are built on the ruins of the old town that was burned down. You'll mostly find wooden huts there, but there are some abandoned stone buildings as well. The whole neighborhood is a maze.
Yes, there used to be, a long time ago. When the city was rebuilt after the fire half a century ago, the guards helped to fill the crumbled sections. Some of these tunnels might still be accessible though. Do you think they are hiding down there?
You talk to some of the locals, but mostly you just listen to their conversations. You hear about people who simply disappeared, but were not slaughtered by the guards like the ones who got the plague. You also hear rumors about a demon living in the old cadaver pit. According to the report, the first people disappeared some weeks ago. The full transformation might be completed by now, so there must be more than one Fomorian creature in the city. You have to act fast, because time is running out. You go to the neglected section of the old, crumbling city wall between the slums and the merchants' district. You find the cadaver pit right next to it. When you push away the rotten boards, you see a deep and wide, pitch-black hole. You throw the rope into the pit, light a torch, and lead your small band down into the hole. You find a corridor on the bottom which is as tall as a man and only one step wide. After a few steps, you reach a crossroads, and after this, the corridor widens. The monastery is old and empty. You find only one man in the archives, studying some old scrolls. He tells you that the master archivist succumbed to the infection 2 weeks ago. You consult the master archivist's notes, and you find records compiled by the cartographers of Camelot. You draw a map of the tunnels. You also find out that the tunnels have 3 exits in the crypts of the founders, and 2 others in the houses attached to the old city walls. According to the map, there aren't any tunnels leading to the gate tower, but you still keep that possibility in mind. You are not too confident how this can help you fight this terrible disease, though. You send your warriors and the city guards to every possible tunnel exit, then slowly move inside from every direction. You kill half a dozen possessed creatures and almost 100 infected until dawn, and it seems like you manage to clean the tunnels afterwards. You leave the town with a sour taste in your mouth, although you know that you did everything in your power to eliminate the infection and the city will not pose a threat in the future.